Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure to be here.
So today we're taking a look at a pretty wild story out of Kenya.
Yeah, this one's got it all. Digital fraud, mobile money, and even a few luxury cars thrown in for good measure.
Right. Our source material today is a recent news article detailing a pretty massive fraud case.
Oh, this is the one with Feliza, right?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Buckle up, because this is a wild ride. We're talking about 7 individuals accused of running a scam that netted them almost $500 million.
Wow. Okay, so first things first, for our listeners who might not be familiar, can you give us a little rundown of what Feliza is and why this case is such a big deal?
Absolutely. So Feliza is this super popular overdraft service in Kenya.
Hmm.
It's tied to M-Pesa, which is like their mobile money platform.
Yeah, and Pays is huge over there. It's like how everyone does their banking, right?
Pretty much. So if you're using M-Pesa and you try to make a payment but don't have enough funds, Feliza swoops in and covers the difference. It's incredibly convenient, especially for folks who rely on mobile money for their day-to-day transactions.
Makes sense. But how widespread is Feliza, really?
Well, just to give you an idea, reports say Kenyans borrow an average of 1.6 billion shillings daily through Feliza.
So we're talking about a service that a huge chunk of the population relies on.
Exactly, which is why this fraud case is causing such a stir. It's not just about a big number. It's about potential vulnerabilities in a system that's become vital for so many people.
Right, and it really throws a spotlight on the wider issue of security in the world of digital finance. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How did these guys actually pull this off?
Okay, so picture this. Between May 2021 and May 2023, these 7 suspects allegedly registered a staggering 19,000 SIM cards.
19,000. Seriously.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. And they use these SIM cards to borrow money through Feliza. They'd rack up debt, and then, get this, they just discard the SIM cards. Poof, gone.
So they exploited the system's accessibility and then just disappeared. Talk about a ghost in the machine. But it sounds like they weren't exactly living a low-profile life, right? The article mentions some pretty fancy assets seized by authorities.
Oh, yeah, the authorities managed to seize 6 luxury vehicles and 5 motorcycles. They believe these were all purchased with the fraudulently obtained funds.
Whoa, that's quite the shopping spree.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder how they flew under the radar for so long, though, right? Buying all those high-ticket items.
Right. You'd think someone would have noticed.
Well, my guess is they were trying to convert those digital funds into something tangible, something harder to trace. And that's probably why the court stepped in with the freeze order. They don't want these guys selling off the vehicles and disappearing completely.
Makes sense. It's like a real-life game of financial cat and mouse.
Exactly. But jokes aside, this case raises some really important questions about how we protect ourselves from these kinds of scams. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, it's a wake-up call for everyone involved in fintech, from developers to consumers. As digital financial services become more and more integrated into our lives, we need to be extra vigilant about security.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, stricter identity verification during SIM card registration, more robust fraud detection algorithms, maybe even educating folks about common scams, all of that could make a huge difference.
Absolutely. This case is a stark reminder that we need to be proactive, not reactive. We can't afford to wait until after a massive fraud happens to start beefing up security measures.
Right, and the thing is, technology is always evolving, and sadly, so are the tactics of those who try to exploit it. It's a constant race to stay ahead of the game.
It really makes you think about the future of financial technology, right? How do we foster innovation and convenience without compromising on security? That's the million-dollar question.
No easy answers there. And that's where I think the conversation needs to start happening.
Well said. And on that note, I think we'll leave our listeners with that question to ponder. It's been a fascinating deep dive into the world of digital fraud and its real-world consequences.
Definitely a case worth keeping an eye on.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep exploring the ever-evolving world of digital finance.